When you play Minecraft for long enough, you start to notice the same things over and over again. Whether that's villages, forests, or mine shafts. Nothing stands out anymore because you know what to expect. But because of Minecraft's random world generation, in rare circumstances, these everyday things can become abnormal. So join me in this video as we take a look at some of the rarest anomalies that players have ever found in Minecraft. Also, feel free to subscribe because my goal is to hit 100,000 subs by the end of 2025. Only 74,196 to go. Now, let's get into the video. On the 17th of November 2021, a seed finder named Mooing Cowmilk uploaded a video to his YouTube channel showing a seed with a very abnormal stronghold. For those who don't know, Mooing Cowmilk is famous for finding strange seeds, such as the infamous unbeatable lava seed, which spawns you in an underground lava pool that's impossible to escape. This time, Mooing Cowmilk found a seed which is even weirder than that. If we enter this seed on 1.16 and teleport to this location, you can see that we're inside the stronghold. Not much stands out at first, but you'll notice that there's water dripping everywhere, and that's because this stronghold is almost completely submerged underwater. But by itself, that's not too weird, except for some areas that are glitched with the water. But all of this is nothing compared to the end portal room. When we enter this room, the first thing that immediately stands out is that this end portal is glitched. That's because this portal generated on the border of a chunk, but this still isn't what makes the seed an anomaly. If I enter this portal right now, I'll find a naturally spawned Elder Guardian in the end with me. And if you're in survival, this is basically a death trap. So you're probably wondering how this can even happen. Well, as you can tell by zooming out, an ocean monument intersects with this stronghold, and the Elder Guardian spawn point just happened to perfectly align with this glitched end portal, which means that it creates this near impossible scenario where the Elder Guardian spawns directly inside the end. Finding this legendary seed was Mooing Cowmilk's idea, but it also took the effort of a few other seed finders to make it happen, and they're all credited in the description as well. And something else to note about this seed is that the Elder Guardian has a chance to spawn a few blocks away from the portal. So if you're trying this by yourself, you might need to reload the seed a few times before it actually spawns inside the portal. If you've watched episode 7 of this series, you might remember that I showed some of the best chests that can theoretically generate in Minecraft. One of them was this stronghold chest that generated with a book that has 11 enchantments on it, and the other was an ancient city chest that generates with every slot in it being a regeneration potion. These rare chests were all found by a seed finder named Chris, and he found them by using code to search through every single possible combination of the loot tables that exist in Minecraft. And these combinations are called loot seeds. So you can enter a command to fill an unopened chest with a specific loot seed that exists in the game, and that chest will generate the items from the loot seed. A loot seed existing basically confirms that a chest with these items can be found somewhere in Minecraft, but it could be millions of blocks away on a random seed, so the chances of someone finding a chest with such rare things are almost impossible. Now you might be wondering, why am I mentioning this anomaly again? Because I went through it in detail in episode 7 already. Well, as I mentioned, these chests could only be generated by entering a command to fill an existing chest with a loot seed, which only proves that these chests exist theoretically somewhere in Minecraft. And in that video, I also mentioned that Chris had an ongoing search for an ancient city chest with 14 enchanted golden apples in it, but it wasn't found yet. Okay, now that we're all caught up with the context, on December 30th, 2024, Chris ended up making a huge discovery. He, alongside 2 others, created an algorithm that was able to find real-world seeds from these theoretical loot seeds. Behind me is one of the real chests that Chris discovered with his algorithm, and it's located in this seed on version 1.21.4. But this isn't something that you can just randomly come across, because this chest is located at 9.5 million blocks away on the x-axis and over 1 million blocks on the z-axis. So you might be wondering, what's inside this legendary chest? Well, take a look. This is the only known chest in all of Minecraft that generates with 14 enchanted golden apples. This makes this chest one of the greatest anomalies that's ever been discovered in Minecraft, because without Chris's algorithm, no one would ever travel to such a distance, let alone open this specific chest and find this. And this is so rare that to my knowledge, no one's even found half as many gapples in a single chest before. The most I could find online from a normal person were 6 gapples in a single chest. Now you might think it ends here, but there's actually another legendary chest that Chris found with his algorithm. This is the same chest from episode 7 that has every slot filled with regen potions. But instead of just a theoretical loot seed, Chris now has an actual actual world seed with this one-of-a-kind chest. To see it, we have to go on version 1.21.4 and enter this seed. Then we need to teleport to these coordinates, which are over 16.5 million blocks away on the x-axis and over 10 million blocks on the z-axis. And when we open this chest, you can see that all the regeneration potions are there, which makes this chest no longer theoretical, but a real thing in the game. And again, the immense distance from spawn of these anomalies means that without Chris's algorithm, no one in history would have ever discovered these chests by chance. And who knows what else is out there. There could be other legendary chests millions of blocks away in the overworld, Nether, or even in the end, on any seed in Minecraft. But without seed finders like Chris, it would be near impossible to find them. Have you ever wondered what's the tallest grass in Minecraft? This may sound like the kind of thing you'd see on a Canman 18 short at 3 AM, but there's actually a certain grass that someone found which is taller than all other grass in Minecraft. But how is that even possible? We all know that grass can either be 1 or 2 blocks tall, so most people don't even think the tallest grass can exist. Well, believe it or not, somehow someone managed to find a grass that's too tall to exist and shouldn't even be possible. It all started on October 25th, 2024, when a Discord user by the name of TTHBage sent a message on my server with a screenshot showing an abnormally tall grass in his world. As you can see, the image he posted shows a naturally generated grass that's 4 blocks tall. So to take a closer look at this, we need to load this seed on version 1.13, and we can see that the tall grass is located right next to the nearest lake at spawn. And if I clear this area to see it properly, you can see just how weird its height is. As for what's happening here, we can see that this 4-block grass is actually made up of 2 double tall grasses, rather than being a single long grass. And you might be wondering why 2 grasses even generated on top of each other in the first place. Well, this happened because on 1.13, there was a glitch that sometimes made it possible for floating grass to grow next to lakes, which means that a double tall grass grew on this bottom layer, and then on top of it, a second double grass generated floating in the air, which makes it a 4-block grass. Now, as you can probably tell, this isn't a one-of-a-kind anomaly, or even as rare as the previous ones, because if seed finders really wanted to, I'm sure they'd be able to find another one like this with enough searching on 1.13. But right now, this is technically the tallest grass that's ever been found in Minecraft. And you might be wondering whether taller grasses are theoretically possible in this version, like a 5 or 6 block grass. Honestly, no one knows. But if multiple lakes were able to stack on top of each other somehow, a 5 or 6 block grass might be possible. But if this does exist somewhere, no one's shown any interest in looking for it. So I highly doubt something like this will ever be found. On the 12th of November 2024, DylanDC14, who's a famous seed finder, uploaded a video on his YouTube channel showing a seed with something that's never been seen before. If we type in this seed on version 1.21.3, we'll enter a fairly normal world. But wait, what's this? We got an achievement, I Spy. The achievement that you're only supposed to get after playing for hours and finding the stronghold. So what happened here? Well, as you can see, part of this stronghold is exposed in a ravine, which is a bit uncommon, but not too crazy. What makes this seed one of a kind has to do with the fact that you spawn here. Because on Java Edition, strongholds are supposed to generate thousands of blocks away in a ring pattern. So the reason we spawn here is because at the coordinates 0, 0, this seed has a giant mushroom island, which is a biome that you can't normally spawn in. So instead, the game spawns you thousands of blocks away and directly on top of this stronghold. And this is the only known seed that gives you this achievement right when you spawn. But as a side note, there's a bit of variance with the spawn location. So you won't always get the achievement right when you spawn, meaning you may need to reload the seed a couple of times for this to happen. In episode 5 of this series, I showed the biggest diamond vein that had ever been discovered in Minecraft, which was a 30-block vein found by the seed finder 19MrX98 on his YouTube channel back in 2021. This held the record as the biggest diamond vein until 1.18 changed diamond generation, which made it possible for larger veins to exist. To test out this new generation, 19MrX98 used a data pack on 1.17 that simulated 1.18's world generation, and within that, he found a 44 diamond vein that was possible. However, no one had yet to find it on 1.18, and ever since then, seed finders have been running programs to try and find the largest vein in these new versions. Until finally, on January of 2025, a seed finder named Scriptline posted an image in the Minecraft at Home Discord server, showing a diamond vein with 44 diamonds on the latest version. This vein can be found by entering this seed on version 1.21 and teleporting to these coordinates, which are almost 14 million blocks away away on the x-axis and over 22 million blocks away on the z-axis, showing just how improbable finding something like this is. This 44 block vein is currently the biggest diamond vein that's ever been found, and after finding it, Scriptline issued an official challenge to all seed finders to find one that's larger than this, but so far, no one's found one. On October 31st, 2024, a Discord user by the name of Unassumed discovered a very unusual anomaly on an old version of Minecraft. By entering this seed from version 1.7.2 to 1.7.10, everything seems normal at first, but if we teleport to these coordinates, we can see that we're inside a stronghold. While walking around, there's nothing crazy yet. There's no Elder Guardian or anything out of place, and even the end portal room isn't that rare, except for a weird little passageway on the side. What makes this stronghold unique is that if we enter the library room, you'll notice that there's a glitched dungeon and a whole bunch of items that are thrown on the floor. Dropped items aren't intended to naturally generate in Minecraft and can only be found in rare circumstances. The reason these are here is because a dungeon generated at the same location as a stronghold library chest, which caused the wall of the dungeon to override the chest and drop all of its loot on the ground. But what's interesting is that these aren't the items of a normal chest. This specific stronghold chest happened to generate on a 4-chunk border when the dungeon generated next to it, which caused the contents of the chest to be duplicated 4 times. As you can see, there's 16 pieces of paper, 4 fire aspect and sharpness books on the ground. It looks like Herobrine went on this seed, dropped his inventory and left. This happening is only possible on these old versions, and this was actually discovered by sheer coincidence, as Unassumed was seed finding for something else entirely when he found this. He was probably searching for a full end portal, which is why the portal in this stronghold is nearly complete. Unassumed also said that if this duplication glitch had happened to a different stronghold chest that had ender pearls in it, it may be possible for a single chest to duplicate and drop 12 ender pearls, which would be enough to light a whole end portal. But because this glitch is so obscure, there's no effort being made by anyone to find a chest like this. So it's likely that a glitched chest on this version will never be found again, without seed finders looking for it. On the 26th of August 2024, a seed finder by the name of Kima sent 2 screenshots to the Minecraft at Home Discord server. These screenshots showed an old version of Minecraft and what appears to be the ruins of a stronghold all across the ground. There are even bookshelves that generated in the middle of the forest, along with cobblestone and stone bricks everywhere. As you can tell, somehow this stronghold managed to generate abnormally close to the surface, with entire sections of it being above ground level. Something else that's weird about this is that this seed is on version 1.0, which was released in 2011. But as I mentioned, the actual find of this seed was in August of 2024. So Kima was searching for the seed on this ancient version in the modern day. And to see this anomaly, we have to type in this seed. You can't teleport to coordinates in this update, so you'll have to make your way to this location to see it. I'm not sure whether stronghold generation was different back in this update to make this possible, but strongholds look exactly the same since version 1.0. So I don't think there's something specific about this version that makes this more likely to happen. And I haven't seen any other strongholds from old versions that generate like this. But there have been other strongholds in modern versions that are above ground, but usually it's only a small section of the stronghold, rather than most of it like this one. Just imagine if you were a noob back in the day and came across this. You'd probably think these were some ancient ruins or a new structure that can be found above ground. What's even crazier is that the end portal room is completely exposed, which usually never happens, even in these weird seeds. And we can't ignore the fact that this is on version 1.0, which gives the seed a certain charm since it's got the old textures and world generation. And if you're wondering why this is on version 1.0, that's because Kima is known for seed finding in extremely old versions, and they've also found some other weird seeds like an 11eye end portal in version 1.0. Personally, this seed has the most interesting stronghold generation that I've ever seen, and that's including other stronghold anomalies that I've covered in the past. It has a very mysterious atmosphere to it. But let me know what you think, and if you've seen a stronghold that's more interesting than this. Alright, let's see what the next anomaly is. Wait a minute, what is this? Oh yeah, it's a subscribe button. Which reminds me, if you're still watching and haven't subscribed, I recommend you do, since as I mentioned, my goal is to get 100,000 by the end of the year. Now, since we're at 25,804 subs, by my calculation, we'd need approximately 6,740 subs every month to get to 100k by the end of this year. But what if this video gets 75,000 views and everyone chooses to subscribe? Well, that would actually be a rare anomaly if the channel could get to 100k subs from this one video. I mean, if it did happen, I'd have to include it in the next part of this series. But anyway, subscribe, and let's move on to the next anomaly. Have you ever wondered what the rarest mob drop in Minecraft is? Like how when you kill a zombie, there's a 2.5% chance for it to drop an iron ingot. Or how sometimes mobs will rarely drop armor. Compared to anomalies, even these rare drops are common, because most of us have played the game for so long that we've gotten them many times before. But what if I told you that in some cases, certain mob drops can be so rare that they can become anomalies? On October 3rd of 2023, a deleted Reddit user made a post on the Minecraft subreddit showing potentially one of the rarest mob drops that has ever been recorded in Minecraft. In their post, the Reddit user explained that they had killed a single skeleton and it dropped its entire set of chainmail armor, its bow, 2 arrows, and a bone. This is the type of loot you'd expect by killing many skeletons. So for a single skeleton to drop so many items, it's so rare that to my knowledge, no one has ever reported it before. It's not known exactly how rare this mob drop is, but someone in the comments of the post claimed that it was a 1 in 2 million chance, which isn't one of a kind, but it's still incredibly rare. But it's possible for a skeleton drop to be even rarer than this, if it dropped 2 bones instead of 1, or if its armor and bow were enchanted. But right now, this is likely the rarest skeleton drop that's ever been reported in Minecraft. And yes, I know that we can't verify that this actually happened, because the original poster said that they had issues rendering their video, which is why they only posted a screenshot of the loot on Reddit. And since the account is deleted now, we can't even know who posted this to get the video, if they even still have it. But despite that, I actually do believe that this is real, because first of all, you can't craft chainmail armor, and the durability of the bow and armor look legitimately from a mob drop. And yeah, these things can easily be faked, but I doubt anyone would randomly make a fake post about this, since it didn't even get much attention on Reddit. And it's such a random thing to happen that almost no one would even think of faking something like this. But anyway, that's all for this anomaly. Now let's move on to the next one, which has to do with a very unusual location. On September 25th, 2024, a Reddit user called Yeet Me to the Void made a post showing a very strange landmark that he discovered in his world. In this seed, at these coordinates, you can see that some warm ocean ruins managed to generate inside a sparse jungle biome. And while it's not that rare for ocean ruins to generate on land, somehow at this location, the ruins fit very well into the landscape and look almost like ancient jungle ruins. Imagine you're a noob and you came across this. You'd definitely think this was some sort of jungle exclusive structure, rather than anything to do with the ocean. It feels like an ancient civilization lived here, and now all that's left is ruins. Something else about this location is that the ocean that these ruins were supposed to generate in is almost 100 blocks below the jungle, which gives this spot some of the most insane cliffs I've seen in Minecraft. And this location was found by a normal person and not a seed finder, which shows that anyone can randomly come across rare anomalies in their worlds, even without knowing code. In the very first episode of the Rare Anomaly series, I talked about the first naturally completed end portal that was discovered in 2015 by a player named Azalef. This portal generated with 12 eyes, but it wasn't activated because of a bug on all versions pre 1.9. So after this bug was fixed, all portals that are filled with 12 eyes are now automatically activated in modern versions. Or so you'd think, because every portal that generates with 12 eyes since 1.9 has been found to be activated, all except for one. This was commented by one of my viewers named Michelis over 10 months ago in an old Rare Anomalies video, but I didn't see the comment until recently, and after doing some more research, it turns out that this portal was shown in a video by a YouTuber called the Mr. Epic back in March of 2024. But even before then, it was found by 3 seed finders from Minecraft at Home called Matt, Philip D, and Hypers. And when you first look at it, this portal seems completely normal. There doesn't seem to be a reason why it isn't activated, because there's nothing physically broken about it. So why did this happen? Well, I asked some seed finders on Minecraft at Home's Discord server, and they said that this happened because of something known as a population chunk border. A population chunk isn't like a normal chunk, and you can't directly see it by turning chunk borders on. Each population chunk is offset by 8 blocks from normal chunks, and they're responsible for certain parts of terrain generation, in this case the end portal eyes. So what happened here was that 3 of the end portal frames on one population chunk all generated with Eyes of Ender in them, and then the 9 other frames on the other chunk all generated with Eyes of Ender as well. So the game doesn't view this as a single full portal, but as 2 separate ones because of the population chunk border. Seed finders said that this technically isn't much rarer than a normal 12-eye portal, but it's harder to seed find, which is why to my knowledge this is the only seed that's ever been found where the population chunk made it impossible for an end portal to light. So this technically is rarer than normal 12-eye portals, because it's only seed finders that can even find normal 12-eye portals. So if it's harder for them to find one like this, this, then it technically is more rare. Now let's move on to the next anomaly, which was again found by Dylan DC14. On the 28th of October 2022, Dylan uploaded a video showing some very strange nether fortresses that he found. A lot of them were very interesting, like the smallest nether fortress, which I covered in episode 5 of this series. But one which I didn't talk about is the nether fortress that has dual spawners glitched in the same location. This anomaly is convenient because it's located right at spawn if you place a nether portal in this seed. But if you came across something like this on your own, you'd probably have a hard time defeating all the blazes that spawn from it. It's unknown just how rare this is, but by searching the internet, I haven't been able to find another double spawner stacked like this in a fortress. So this may be a one-of-a-kind anomaly as far as I know. And again, huge credit to Dylan for finding this, and make sure to check out his channel to see other cool seeds as well. On November 29th of 2024, a Reddit user by the name of OpenTair Networks came across a strange woodland mansion in his world. From the outside, nothing seems wrong, and even when entering it, there isn't anything immediately off. But if we break through this wall, you can see that there's a fake end portal room, which isn't too rare by itself, right? Well, if we break the next wall, we find another fake end portal. And if we break the third wall, there's another fake end portal room. So this mansion generated with 3 fake end portals, all next to each other. And on top of that, there's 2 different obsidian rooms on different floors, making this an incredibly rare mansion. But there's a mansion that's even rarer than this, which was featured in a video on the 30th of July 2022 by a Bedrock seed finder called Cracked Magnet. This mansion has 4 fake portal rooms, which makes this the seed with the most known portals within a mansion. And surprisingly, this still works on the latest version of Bedrock Edition, which is 1.21.51. This makes me wonder though, what would be the theoretical limit of fake end portals in a mansion? If you know anything about that, let us all know in the comments below or in the Discord. On the 23rd of November 2024, a Discord user named Swux sent me a message about a weird outpost that he found in his world. To my knowledge, this outpost currently holds the record for the most scarecrows, with 9 pairs, making a total of 18 scarecrows. And this also holds the record for the most surrounding structures, as it has 15 surrounding structures in total, which beats a previous anomaly outpost that I talked about in episode 6, which had 12 surrounding structures. And believe it or not, Swux found this by manually searching and without any seed finding tools. I don't know what these pillagers were trying to scare with all these scarecrows, but it's insane to look at. And this outpost is almost as big of an anomaly as me having 23 followers on Twitter. How is this possible? So follow me for some banger tweets, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!